The View co-host Sunny Hostin's husband, Emmanuel Hostin, has been accused of federal insurance fraud.
You always say it's always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, you guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia.
I've been waiting my whole life for this one. Orthopedic surgeon and husband for the View host, Sunny Hostin, has been named in a federal lawsuit alleging insurance fraud. She got on television. She got in. She run. These women tell me why her husband is named in a lawsuit in insurance fraud. And I'm gonna show you exhibit. Let me say exhibit B. Can you show this to the jury?
Buckle up, because Sunny Hostin is spiraling straight into a catastrophic financial meltdown. And it's exploding faster than anyone imagined. Her husband just slammed with a staggering $450 million RICO fraud arrest that's shaking their entire empire to its core. How did this unstoppable power duo collapse so violently, so quickly? Don't blink, because the chaos is only getting started. What's coming next will shatter everything you thought you knew. Prepare for a scandal that's darker, juicier, and more explosive than anything you've seen before.
Yeah, you're married. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. Let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures, and look at her track record. How many times does she have to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that she said on the show? And then she also, on Trump's win, calling the loss because of uneducated white women that Trump won.
We have to know that. This is accused.
All accused. Yeah, all accused. But he's in the RICO. This is a big RICO case that her husband's in there.
Sunny Hostin might have thought sparring over politics on The View was the peak of her drama. But that was child's play compared to the storm crashing down now. When the queens of daytime TV can't even cook up this level of chaos without real-life disaster spilling in, you know it's beyond repair. But here's the kicker. It's not her usual hot takes lighting the fire. This time, the inferno starts at home. Her husband, the so-called expert, just became the epicenter of a scandal so toxic it could torch everything in their path.
Orthopedic surgeon and husband of The View co-host Sunny Hostin is accused in December lawsuit fraudulently billing insurance. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story I'm reading. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow. Hostin's attorney, Daniel Twites, denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits. The case involves claims that Hostin performs unnecessary surgeries on patients after minor accidents without exploring less invasive treatments, with American Transit citing New York's 1974 no-fault law as contributing to widespread insurance fraud.
Imagine this. You open your eyes expecting another day of righteous rants and media praise, only to find yourself drowning in a $450 million racketeering nightmare. Your husband, allegedly the criminal mastermind behind one of the most jaw-dropping insurance fraud schemes in U.S. history. And you, preaching morality on The View, while the foundation beneath you is cracking wide open. That soapbox you've been standing on, it's crumbling into a tsunami of debt, disgrace, and brutal irony. This isn't just a scandal. It's a catastrophic fall from grace that no scriptwriter could ever dream up.
The View co-host Sunny Hostin's husband, Emmanuel Hostin, has been accused of federal insurance fraud. According to a new lawsuit obtained by Page 6, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer, influence, and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emmanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and, quote, getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft drivers. According to the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries.
Hostin allegedly struck gold, not in saving lives, but in slicing through patients for profit. Knee, shoulder, whatever looked profitable on paper became his next target. While insurance companies blindly footed the bill for surgeries that may have never even happened, he was busy lining his pockets like a Wall Street shark in a lab coat. This wasn't medicine. It was a money-making machine disguised as healing. Forget I was helping you recover. He was padding his empire, one phantom procedure at a time.
You always say it's always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, you guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange for the kickbacks.
And brace yourself, because this circus is just getting started. While Dr. Hostin rakes in dirty millions from shady backroom ops, Sunny's clinging to her sanctimonious seat at The View, acting like she's above the chaos. But spoiler alert, she's not handling it like a seasoned pro. Instead, total silence. Awkward deflections, like she's rehearsing her best shocked face for when the headlines hit full force. Newsflash, this isn't staying under wraps. Her husband is now entangled in what could become one of New York's most explosive racketeering cases ever. The curtain's coming down. And hard. Political squabbles were child's play compared to this. We're talking high-stakes insurance fraud, phantom surgeries, and a husband accused of running a surgical hustle so massive it makes reality TV look tame. This isn't just scandal, it's a full-blown collapse.
Guys, this is why we need to seriously have a long, lengthy conversation about healthcare in the United States of America. This is basically it. So Sunny Hostin's husband was basically charged with insurance fraud. What he was doing was doing like fraudulent surgeries and then overcharging the insurance companies for him. This is what this is. So now, of course, he's now being named along with about 200 other individuals in a federal RICO charge case, guys.
Forget The Godfather. This is Grey's Anatomy hijacked by white-collar mobsters in scrubs. And in this twisted episode, the surgeons aren't saving lives. They're draining bank accounts. Sure, insurance companies aren't saints, but in this jaw-dropping saga, they're the ones being played by a doctor with dollar signs in his eyes. Now here's where it gets truly unhinged. The View couldn't resist being part of the madness. The ultimate plot twist? Sunny Hostin, the high and mighty interrogator, is suddenly the one squirming in the hot seat. Her husband, just one of 180 names wrapped in a titanic fraud scandal, is accused of pocketing millions meant for real patients in real pain. The roles have flipped. The mask is slipping. And what's coming next? Pure, unfiltered chaos.
I've been waiting my whole life for this one. Orthopedic surgeon and husband for The View host Sunny Hostin has been named in a federal lawsuit alleging insurance fraud. She got on television. She got in. She run. These women tell me why she got her husband is named in a lawsuit in insurance fraud, and I'm gonna show you exhibit. Let me say exhibit B. Can you show this to the jury? Roll it, Nick.
You know, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband.
While Sunny hides behind a wall of silence, hoping the spotlight skips over her, the chaos brewing behind the scenes is about to erupt like a legal volcano. Forget when it rains, it pours. This is a hurricane of scandal tearing through everything in its path. While she polishes her moral compass on The View, her husband is allegedly raking in millions through bogus surgeries, shady side deals, and a kickback pipeline that stinks of pure corruption. And let's not kid ourselves, this isn't some minor malpractice case. This lawsuit is a wrecking ball aimed at an entire web of dirty medicine. Doctors, clinics, even full-blown hospitals allegedly tangled in a fraudulent operation so vast, it makes the mob look like amateurs. Insurance giants say they were bled dry for phantom procedures and medical theater. And the worst part? The real explosion hasn't even hit yet. What's coming will make headlines and casualties.
Last week, we learned that Sunny's husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, was named in a lawsuit filed by American Transit Insurance Company. He's one of 200 people named in this lawsuit, and they are accusing him of filing fraudulent insurance claims and also getting kickbacks from them. And it's a very serious crime. In fact, it's one of the largest, if not the largest, RICO case in New York's history, and they're seeking $450 million. And Sunny and her husband, they are fighting back. They've hired legal eagle Mark Garagos to help them fight this case, and they're claiming that this is completely baseless.
Dr. Hostin's legal team is pulling straight from the scandal playbook. When cornered, attack the accuser. They're spinning this massive lawsuit as nothing more than a last-ditch stunt by a collapsing insurance company. Classic deflection, shift the blame, muddy the waters, and hope no one notices the smoke pouring from the fire. But here's where it gets almost laughable. Sunny Hostin, usually the first to pounce on controversy, has suddenly lost her voice. The woman who fearlessly grills politicians and shreds internet trolls on national TV, now silent as the storm barrels straight for her doorstep. Is she trying to disappear into the background, or foolishly hoping the mess will magically vanish? Because let's be real, this isn't just a scandal. It's a full-blown soap opera where the betrayal isn't a secret lover. It's an illegal surgical empire built on lies, greed, and a trail of insurance fraud that's impossible to ignore.
Anna went in a different direction. But I love the fact that, Manny is younger and he's
How much younger is he?
Just a little bit.
He's like 1 year, isn't he? Like a month or a year or 10 years?
5 years. It's more than a year.
Oh.
Anyway, it's not about me. I think.
Oh, no.
I think that it's very helpful that he's handy, and when we travel, I'm not picking up any bags. He's the one that's hefting them overhead. He
Exactly.
throws the garbage out.
Right.
He does the heavy stuff.
This isn't just your average scandal. This is a multi-billion-dollar ticking time bomb. Dr. Hostin isn't some rogue player. He's allegedly part of a sprawling criminal network that's turning America's healthcare system into a cash-grabbing circus. We're talking doctors, hospitals, insurance companies, even unsuspecting patients, all tangled in a scheme that feels less like medicine and more like an organized heist. Only instead of banks, they're draining health insurance funds dry. And if these allegations stick, it exposes the ugly truth. A system so warped, patient care barely makes the cut. It's profit over people, greed over healing. If Dr. Hostin and Sunny think this is just business as usual, then they're endorsing a healthcare horror show. Let's not kid ourselves. Insurance companies are far from innocent, constantly jacking up premiums and denying claims. But when doctors allegedly turn healing into a racket, it's the patients who get crushed in the crossfire. The whole machine is rigged. And now it's finally being exposed for what it really is.
Giuliani shook the tree and a bunch of mobsters fell out, right? This is big stuff. And so, and thank you for bringing that video. It sure is ironic that she's up there. So, but if she didn't really know what was going on, right, which is what she's probably going to say later, oh, I had no idea what my husband and his associates were doing. We'll wait and see what that is. But I think it's pretty freaking ironic.
Yeah. I have a totally different perspective on this. I don't really know what happened with this. The facts will come out. What I have a problem with is the core of who this woman is. Unlike you, I don't watch The View, bro. All I do is see clips. I know you do.
It's like twice a day.
Here's all I hear from her. America's violent. America's racist. America's bad. Okay. I challenge you, Sunny. And this is Constantine Kissin actually was saying something about this. Find me a country that's not racist.
Sunny better polish a fresh tagline for The View. Healthcare's burning, and so is my home life. Who needs an untarnished resume when millions keep tuning in for the chaos? TikTok. Every hour this court brawl drags on, her primetime pulpit starts to look like kindergarten gossip next to a $450 million surgical crime saga. She once flaunted the dream, cushy contract, endless spotlight, but now she's clinging to that panel seat like a flotation device in a tidal wave of subpoenas. If this trial spirals, will she auction off that coveted chair just to keep the lights on? Meanwhile, Dr. Hostin's legal roller coaster is only inching up the first hill. Will he swagger out of the courthouse untouched or nosedive into ruin? Make no mistake, each sunrise promises another bombshell. Forget mushy soap opera love triangles. This is a flesh and bone courtroom blockbuster packed with phantom surgeries and sky-high insurance heists. Picture the doc sauntering in wearing a leather jacket, cocky grin, announcing, "Showtime, folks." As for Sunny, her razor-sharp political monologues suddenly feel like stand-up warm-ups before the main act. The implosion of her immaculate image. Happy endings? Don't bet on it. We're watching the debut season of Bold, Bad, and Bankrupt, starring knee scopes, courtroom fireworks, and reputations set ablaze. Buckle in, the next twist might level everything.